Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. It will not be long until patch 7.1.5 is upon us. It looks like it will be coming out sometime early January, and today I'll be going over some things that I think you should probably think about doing in order to prepare from both an economic perspective and a character progression one. Also, do note that while the Nighthold raid isn't necessarily tied into the release date of 7.1.5, we know that they are both slated for January, so any of the usual raid preparation that you would normally do is something that you'll again want to look into. Okay, let's begin with leveling alts and not spending time grinding power on them. I recommend that you focus on leveling any new alts that you might want to play until 7.1.5 releases, unless you really need them now, because progressing your artifact power now is going to be a bit of a waste of time in comparison to how fast it will be in the new patch. Why is this? Well, in patch 7.1.5, they're adding the ability to purchase up to 15 ranks of artifact knowledge instantly at a cost of 500 order hall resources per knowledge. So as you can imagine, spending loads of time grinding out artifact power might not be the most efficient use of your time now. That is something that you can use for any character, but there is an additional thing which is designed for getting your alts up to speed. Basically, this comes in the form of bind on account books that you can purchase for 1,000 order hall resources. These will instantly boost your alt to 5 artifact knowledge levels behind your main. Basically, the way it works is you can buy different compendiums based on your main character's artifact knowledge level. So you can buy volume 1 if you are artifact knowledge rank 10 to 14, and then this will get the character who uses it up to artifact knowledge rank 5. You can buy volumes 1 and 2, which is a single item, if your main is from rank 15 to 19, and this will instantly boost your alt to artifact knowledge rank 10. So basically, this is a very big catch-up mechanic, and that pretty much just continues as you would expect, currently up to a boost to artifact knowledge rank 20. So basically, it's going to be super, way faster to do your artifact power grinding then than it will be now. So if you only have a certain amount of hours to play, it might be a better idea to do your leveling now rather than do it when you could be doing a whole bunch of super fast progression in January. Next, we've got the topic of high item level gear. Blizzard are implementing a number of changes to how stats work in the game. Without getting into the maths, item level should be a bit more indicative of a bit of gear's power. Quite a lot of tweaking has been done, but all you really need to know is that even if a bit of gear drops with suboptimal secondary stats, when the patch drops, it might actually be useful for you. Basically, secondary stats are worth a little bit less and primaries are worth a little bit more, which shifts the scale of power towards item level. Wasn't really like that previously. So basically, just don't go around vendoring the high item level bits of gear that you may get. It's likely that once the patch drops, your optimal gear set will be different from what you are currently wearing now, so either use Ask Mr. Robot Premium's Best in Bags function, or use Simcraft and Pawn to do that maths for yourself. With that covered, let's talk about the economy. I always love preparing for the economic changes that come with a new patch. The first thing that I predict is an increase in the demand for enchants, and therefore a price increase in the price of Chaos Crystals. Why? Well, as I covered earlier, the stat system is being heavily changed, and additionally, it seems like this patch will be coming out at roughly the same time as the Nighthold raid instance. Overall, a lot of new gear will be equipped, which means that a lot of enchanting will be done, and it's a pretty good way to earn money. Infernal Brimstone will probably also have a price hike. They're adding item level 880 engineering goggles, which I suspect will be in high demand. This is very much a market that you might want to speculate on while the prices are currently cheap, or at the very least prepare for. Now these actually do require engineering to use, however it's only engineering level 1, so while it's a slight barrier to entry, I wouldn't put it past players to swap a profession to get a bit of short-term power. Either way, demand for Infernal Brimstone and therefore price will probably increase. They're also adding 2 more upgrade levels for Obliterum to crafted gear, which would put it to a total of 10. There could be a surge in the market price when the patch drops because of the increased demand, but I wouldn't expect that price increase to hold for an extended duration. I'd only recommend speculating on this market, and perhaps the Brimstone market as well, if you have quite a bit of extra gold floating around. I wouldn't bet everything in your pockets on these things, but if you have millions and you just enjoy speculating for the sake of making money, then it might be worth looking into. And I also just want to round off this preparation video by talking about getting onto the PTR and testing the changes. Quite a few of us have significant class changes, and it's worth testing them out on the PTR. Now, I know most hardcore type players are probably already doing this, but I suspect quite a few of you have heard of the PTR and you've never really considered going on it, or, maybe don't know how easy it actually is. So just go to account management in battle.net. Most players will have a PTR account listed. If you don't, then you might be out of luck. If you do, go to the download games and beta clients section of Battle.net, select WoW PTR, download that, then install it. You can also copy the contents of your interface/add-ons folder from your live install over to the PTR one if you want to use your add-on setup. Most of the time that's relatively bug-free, but you might get a few errors. And then just log into the PTR, click account copy, go to your region, hit copy, select your character, and you will be good to go. They've also recently added a vendor with the Nighthold set gear and new legendary items, so if you are maybe, looking into doing the Nighthold or some of the more high-end content, it might be worth your time to check this out, and I'd say doubly so if you are playing one of the classes that's getting significant changes with this patch. And that really is all that I want to cover with this video. Honestly, there's not a tremendous amount of stuff that you can do to prepare for this patch due to its nature. It's a smaller patch. It's more focused on design iterations, a little bit of class balancing, things like that. Of course, there is also the Brawlers Guild coming, and you might want to have a look at some people's PTR coverage of that if you want to see what the new content is, but I don't really feel like there's a major way to game the system by preparing for that. And I have heard some talk about essentially gathering or stacking up your artifact research notes. It very much seems like that's not going to be useful at all when it comes to this patch, due to the way the Blizzard are planning on implementing the artifact research compendiums. Now, I have seen, I think it was on a Reddit post a few days ago, people saying that you could basically stack them up in the little queue in the ground beside the NPC, and that would mean that you could use your compendium and then instantly use the 2 research notes that were sitting on the floor. I really doubt that will actually make it into live. I mean, you can do it, but, overall I would just say, don't hold back your current artifact knowledge progress. It's probably not worth it, and I don't think that any sort of special tactics or tricks will really be something that Blizzard will actually let happen with this catch-up system. Anyway, that's it for me with some patch 7.1.5 preparation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.